The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Garoppolo to throw on 2nd down. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Leonard Williams in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. So the sack of Garoppolo, and now what can they come up with on 3rd and long? 11. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. Airing it out deep for Smith. He's got a man, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain of 32 that time. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
On 2nd down, Kamara. Oh, able to avoid him. The 20. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great effort there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Saints have taken the early lead. You talk about explosion plays. There's one pretty much right out of the gate.
And now they get to ride a wave of emotion, momentum, everything. Just as you described, right out of the gate. Big sprint, touchdown. They're excited. But on the other side, they've got to guard against a major letdown because they hit them right in the gut with that one. And now you start to question yourself a little bit when you give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at about the 32. The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14. So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Wentz to throw on 2nd down. Escaping the pressure right. And he's got the veteran here. It's Mike Wallace. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. And that one good for 16, and the drive will continue. On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. Drops it off for Coleman. Call it a pickup of 7, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, It tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. From midfield, here's Wentz. And he connects with Ertz. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. An Eagle first down there. Wentz to Ertz. And the names that end in TZ.
Plenty of things to talk about here, partner. But to me, their defense gave...
And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. Alex Anzalone coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. And the Saints signal for another timeout. And that's their second charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining.
Single receiver. Hey,
Shotgun now for Wentz. Flushed out right. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 22. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
They begin on the ground with Kamara. And he's got room. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great play there. An 80-yard touchdown. And the Saints are able to strike quickly for 6. The point after, no gimme in the snow, but it's up and good. And it's now 14-0. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. Short kick. It's taken to the 23. And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line. Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
And at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
Sunday. What's up?
Right back to him on first down. Finds a seam inside the 40. Still going. That good for 22 and a first down.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
On first down, Wentz buying time to his left. Ertz has it left side. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
The Eagles into the red zone for the first time. They have a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. Coleman now. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, it's working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Coleman. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. They give them 2 yards there as they're set up now with a 1st and goal.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that.
And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Tevin Coleman hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Eagles are back within a score. Elliott good with a PAT, and that'll make our score 14-7. Elliott now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Saints coming out now to take the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10.
11.
On 2nd down, here's Garoppolo. Looking left side and completing it to Thomas. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That one goes for 24 yards.
11. White.
Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. Eluding the pressure right. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
12.
Working from the gun, Garoppolo. He's going to air one out. That's caught inside the 20. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. And give him a gain of 37.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. He's able to rattle off 6 on the carry, and that'll get him to 3rd and 4.
I don't care what the emphasis is in the NFL at any given time. Every defense is still going to say their #1 goal every game is stop the run. And right now, they're not doing that, and that really chips away at your confidence.
From the gun on 3rd, Garoppolo. Looking for Thomas. He's got him. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead.
That's it, huh? Good work, boys. Let's go.
Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. It's a short kick here, fielded at the 24. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Eagles offense now, they head back on the field. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at about the 32. Working from the gun, Wentz. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. Alex Okafor in there to get him for a loss of 5. Back live with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Eagles with the ball here to begin quarter number 2, but they face a 2nd and long to start things out.
Black. 4 down. Check. What's on?
From the gun, it's Wentz. Gonna look deep for Jeffrey. And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Alshon Jeffrey, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Eagles are able to strike quickly for 6. Extra point hugged the upright a bit, but he gets it to go. And they're back within a touchdown at 21-14. Elliott now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
11.
On 1st down, Garoppolo. Over the middle, that's caught by Meredith. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Now a pitch out to Kamara. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. Give the tackle that time to Rodney McLeod.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
11.
Now Garoppolo throwing on 2nd. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And it's knocked away and incomplete. The target that time, Michael Thomas. 3rd down here.
I know the initial focus was on how far that pass was downfield, but how about the coverage on the play? Able to stay with him, get his hands where the receiver's hands were going to try and catch the ball, tips it up in the air, and knocks it away.
Go ahead.
Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. Looking again for Thomas, this time complete. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd. Well, it's one thing to complete that pass on a nice sunny 70-degree day, but in these elements, that's a tough thing to do.
It is, and let's just put the whole thing together, not just throwing the ball. Trying to protect the quarterback now when you got the pass rushers coming at you and maybe things are a little slippery on the field. The guys trying to cover downfield, wanting to make sure they keep their footing as the guys make their cuts. Looking back and locating the ball, you name it, it's difficult all the way around. But the guy throwing it, he may have the toughest task.
It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd and 12. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. On the check down, he finds Kamara. The ball comes out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
Now I have to admit, partner, that I've often thought that I don't like this rule, where the offensive player fumbles the ball, it goes out of bounds, and they get to keep it.
That's just because you're a defensive guy. That's why you don't like it.
Yeah, you're right. It is a slanted view, isn't it?
But this is where, for the offensive team, the sideline is their friend. Usually it's not their friend.
Yeah, exactly right. I actually played for a guy in college. You know what he used to name the sideline? Sammy. Sammy sideline, and use him well.
A 10th carry for Kamara, and they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Tackle made there by Jordan Hicks.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
12, 6. Go ahead.
Now they'll throw with Garoppolo. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. Mike Bennett, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. So the sack of Garoppolo, and now what can they come up with on 3rd and long? Here's Garoppolo to throw. Flush to his right. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down.
Well, partner, nothing comes open here, so he decides to escape out of there, and he doesn't pick up a 1st down, but he does gain additional yardage to set up a possible field goal attempt if they decide to go that route.
A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on,
one?
what does that mean, break out? That just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that part. I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea. Any return that gets you to midfield is a great return. 1 1st down, and you're almost in field goal position.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 43.
Black.
Here's Wentz to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And his throw is incomplete. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43.
Don't go.
Now Wentz, I think this is going to be a free play. And this is Hurts with it, right side. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. So with the completed pass and the yardage they got, they'll decline the penalty.
So obviously more yards on the pass completion than they would have gained with the penalty. They did the math. They did it well, and it works for them.
Wentz now on 1st down. Being chased out left. Wide open receiver complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That one goes for 24 yards.
That's what I'm talking about. Nice hit, boy.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Tackle there going to Marshawn Lattimore. So 2 minutes to go in a wild first half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
Hang in there now. Hang in there now. Shorty. Listen.
On 3rd and long, it's Wentz. Forced out to his left. He can run for it, and he will. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th. Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Now to try the Eagle field goal, Jake Elliott. This just a 35-yard attempt from the left hash. And Elliott puts this one through. And this is back down to a 7-point game. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point.
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
Go ahead.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
11.
Garoppolo to throw on 2nd down. And he's going to go down again. And the Eagles are going to go ahead and take another timeout, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And they'll mark him down right around the 9, just shy of the 10. Now here's a whistle and a timeout. It's called by the receiving team here, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Fielded at about the 28. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
So 2nd in inches after that 1st down completion went just shy of the marker.
There we go. Back man. 120.
To throw is Wentz. Throw right side taken in by Wallace. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. A gain of 32 that time. So now following the big play, they've got a 1st and goal all the way down at the 10.
Run. Great 15. Great 15.
Throwing on first is Wentz. Drops it off for Coleman. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5.
Now, that's the type of play that gives you a chance to win. Nothing forced downfield where you don't have a guy open. Swing it out to the back, on maybe even check it down, whatever you want to call it. Gain of 5. You're just trying to get 4 on 1st down. They're ahead of the chains now.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. Wentz now on 3rd and goal. Sliding out of the pocket. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Now, if you're going to get rid of it, you better get outside the pocket.
Yeah, you have to get outside of that tackle-to-tackle box, right? Get out there, and then you can do it legally, but he wasn't able to do so, and they end up losing the down as well.
And the kick by Elliott is good. And that'll bring them back within 4. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach! This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the 3rd quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. This is Coleman, able to slither by. He takes this for 3 to the 29.
I would say that's what you call a whole lot for a little, huh?
When you bust that move out of the bag, you hope for more than 4 yards, but hey, 4 is what he got.
Black, come on. What's your son?
Wentz going to try and throw on 3rd. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. The Eagles send out their punter now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Yeah, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. Again, it's Kamara. And he's up past the 10 to about the 12. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. The Saints on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 11, he goes down. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
11. Go ahead. 13.
Garoppolo looks to throw. And Thomas has it. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And that one results in 35 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, and sometimes that just happens. It is the NFL. They will make some plays against you.
Now Garoppolo. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Fletcher Cox in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. So the sack of Garoppolo. And now what can they come up with on 3rd and long?
21. Here we go. Hurry up.
Now a play fake. Garoppolo. And the pressure gets to him again.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Coming to you.
They go play action here on 1st down. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. It's a gain of 7, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Down the man inside. Down the man.
Here's Coleman. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. The Eagles on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3.
Black.
Shotgun now for Wentz. And he connects with Ertz. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. An Eagle 1st down, Wentz to Ertz. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right, safety valve. throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield.
Early down stuffs will put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Here we go. 120.
They will run again with Coleman. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
That's how you get right up off of the mat, because on the last play, they stoned him in the backfield and dropped him for a loss. But he's the type of guy that scared me a little bit because he's not daunted. Just got right back up.
And he's going to go down just outside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line. Kevin Pierre-Louis able to drop him for a loss of 4. Second and goal from the 6 this time. He'll get it up the middle. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that's going to bring up an interesting 3rd and goal. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's the Eagles behind on the scoreboard, but with the football here as we start the 4th quarter. They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal.
Black, come on. Run.
Now Wentz. Flushed out right. And he'll just throw this one over in the way of the security crew. Incomplete here. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And Elliott puts this one through. And that'll bring him back within a point. So with that field goal, this one's now back within a field goal. Maybe not the ultimate result they wanted, but gets them that much closer.
This game is unfolding like a really good book, isn't it? Because I feel like there's a few more plot twists yet to be revealed before this one is over.
And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. And now the Saints get set to trot out there. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Now a play fake here on first down. Over the middle, the catch made by Mitchell. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Hurry up! Check, crunch. Check 26, check. I got you. Go ahead.
Trying to run down some clock with Kamara. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with third down coming up. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
To throw, it's Garoppolo. Steps away to his left. He may try and he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And the Eagles have recovered.
Well, that takeaway, partner, right there, that's a combination of coaching, execution, and absolute belief. Because a lot of guys will look at the scoreboard and go, this thing's pretty well done. But they still thought to themselves, if we can make a play, we give our teammates a chance to win it. And that's exactly what they did.
A beautiful spin and room to run. And he'll be down deep into New Orleans territory. 31 yards there and a first down.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a yard on the pickup there. Second and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
Check nine.
They get it to him running left. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Tevin Coleman, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Eagles have moved out in front here in the fourth quarter. Here we go now as we get set for a big two-point conversion.
82. What's that? Hey, empty.
They'll try and run it in with Coleman. And he is not going to make it. So they won't be able to move this lead up to a touchdown as it'll remain a 5-point ball game. Elliott now to kick this one away. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Go ahead. 11, 6.
On second down, here's Garoppolo. Thomas has got it. Complete. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And he finds Julius Thomas. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on third down.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
13.
Here's Garoppolo on first and 10. Going for the deep ball. That's caught inside the 20. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas, his second touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Saints have moved out in front here in the fourth quarter. All right, now a big two-point conversion attempt still to come. And yet again, it's Garoppolo. And that is, I think he caught it. He did, but they'll say out of bounds. It'll be incomplete. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. This will be taken very short. And And they're going to have really good starting field position here as that's taken up close to the 40. The Eagles offense back out onto the field. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their 38.
Great 15, great 15.
Wentz going to throw. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10.
81, 81.
Back to the air on 2nd down. Wentz. Ertz has it left side. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A good pickup there, a 22. Wentz now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. To throw, it's Wentz. Eluding the pressure right. Caught right side, it's Jeffrey. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. A gain of 6 there on 1st. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
So while the offense has had a big day, no one on that side of the ball is excited about seeing a loss like that. Their goal, to make every play positive. And when you have a bad one like that, your next goal is to not let it spiral into more.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. It's a gain of maybe 3, but it's going to leave them with still about 8 or 9 to go on 3rd down. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Black. Here we go.
Back to throw. Flush to his right. His throw caught at about the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. That's what they need right now. Get the 1st down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
And the question now, how do they want to work the clock here on 1st and goal? A field goal would give them the late lead. They hand off to their big tight end. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, you've got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here. Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. They come out here in the I. On the ground with a tight end. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Now the Saints will use their third and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
47.
On third down, it's Coleman. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Give him a couple on the run there, and now they're in that in-between area here on 4th and goal. So a big, big kick coming now for Jake Elliott. This to almost certainly win the football game. And he nailed it. It's good. Through the snowflakes, he finds a way to get it to go. And the Eagles are going to win the football game. Oh, partner, there's something special about a game in the snow. Just always fun in these elements, although a little chillier up here in the open-air booth. The only thing that's not fun is that we got the mid-game notification that our flight was canceled tonight, but we'll deal with that later. It was really a fun game to watch, though.
It was, and there is something special about games played in the snow because the element of surprise really kicks in. You don't know how they're going to handle the ball, if someone's going to make a dramatic play just out of nowhere, and all of a sudden it just changes the course of things. But a big shout out to our crew to make sure that we were comfortable up here, as comfortable as one could be. In these elements, they took care of us and made sure we were dressed properly.
So for Philadelphia, the win will move them to 7-2 now on the year. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Chicago Bears. Meanwhile, for the Saints, the loss will drop them to 6-3 now on the year. And they'll be back home next week as they're set to take on the Carolina Panthers. So for Charles Davis and our entire